Okay, so I am going to show you the videos of me riding first. The cross-country videos are from April, the jumping videos are from May, and the dressage and flat work videos are from September and October. And then I'll show you what it's supposed to look like after that. And you'll see the biggest difference. I cannot sit up without my lower leg sliding forward. And you can see where my hip flexors are really tight, and then my shoulders bow forward, and I just completely lose, you can see here, I just completely lose my core strength, and I can't sit up going over this jump. Like, I can sit up a little bit, but my lower leg swings a lot, and you can see my top half and my ass literally like trying to counterbalance as I'm going over these jumps. And even she had a little spook there and went sideways. I was having trouble maintaining my balance. And you can kind of see here on approach that my legs aren't able to wrap around her. And you can see that with my toes. They're kind of pointed out. And that's what I mean when I say like I can't sit up. It's like my shoulders have to go forward because I don't have enough trunk strength to literally bring myself back up, because my leg literally just slides out from underneath me. So I guess my ass isn't engaged either, and that's what I mean. Another part of why it's so important for my toes to be forward is so I can actually utilize, okay, that one wasn't half bad, utilize all those chain muscles to actually keep my body upright. You can see it a little bit more here.
1, 2, 3. Good. You actually changed.
Yeah, right there. The shoulders have to go forward in order for me to be able to sit up and me get my ass down. And here, there's just way too much action happening. It is not quiet at all. My leg is sliding all over the place. My knees are rolled out. My toes are rolled out. My shoulders are going nuts. And I have zero control over my seat. My core is not able to be engaged. This is... I stopped working at UCA about 2 months ago, and it's evident that I'm already losing my strength. You can kind of see my unevenness here with my legs in that downward transition. And again here, you can see I put more weight into my left stirrup, and my right leg is kind of flopping around. And again to this side, trying to get both sides because I know I have some unevenness in my body, which doesn't help, and I don't know how much that plays into whatever training that I need to do. I know it'll be significant, but I don't know. Yeah, again, way too much action. I can't get my leg under me. You can see my toe is pointed down. I know I'm trying to push her over with my leg right there, but yeah. Here's my latest dressage test. And this is kind of where I'm at riding wise. This test was all walk trot. Just because I did not feel I could ride a dressage test in a controlled manner given, well, you just saw that canter. And you'll see why it's not great. Unevenness. I'm not in control of where my seat bones are actually sitting. When I rise up in the saddle, I'm not bringing my hips up to meet my hands, so I'm not able to stay straight.
Turn left.
Again, as I'm coming around the corner here, you can see where I'm teetering a little bit and just trying to keep my leg underneath me because it keeps drifting forward.
Working trot.
And same thing with my shoulders. And especially as I come around to the camera here again,
Working trot.
where I try to straighten my shoulders, she's bracing off of me a lot. But you can see how my legs just kind of splay out to the sides and how I'm kind of struggling to keep upright because she keeps fighting me on the bit. And again, even at the walk, my toes are out, my knees are rolled out instead of forward. And I've completely lost my posterior chain muscles and my lower core.
Each loop to go to the side of the arena, finishing at
And it's the same thing on this side. I'm definitely more uneven. That right leg likes to twitch out much more than the left, which is really funny because it used to be the opposite, because my left leg used to be the one that was more injured. And through there you could kind of see the lack of core stability, especially with the disconnection between my upper body and my lower body. I mean, there's supposed to be a little bit of give, but not so much loosey-goosey, floppy-woppy. And again, you can see the unevenness through the halt there, especially with the way that she stopped. And this is what it's supposed to look like. Her hips are coming up to her hands, her legs are nice and quiet. You can see that knee is rolled forward or is pointing forward. Her toes are pointing out a little bit. That's okay, that's normal. But you can see that she's supporting herself through that posterior chain action. I think it's posterior chain action. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be making an idiot of myself. But you can see her hands are moving with the horse. Her shoulders are staying in place. It's not like she's giving away her entire thoracic to make that happen. You can see as she's coming around here where she's nice and even though she's kind of tapping her horse. The tapping is literally to get the horse to bring up its hind end underneath itself. So she's actually got a really quiet leg because it's staying in the same spot. And with the canter, you can see she's sitting up. She's driving with her seat only, but her butt's not going anywhere. Her leg's not going anywhere. Her leg is staying, her heel is underneath her hip. And through that halt, you can see where she's even. And this is cross country. Again, I think I talked to you about this. Imagine riding a mountain bike with a mind of its own. And it carries its own momentum, and you're going over jumps, and yeah. But you can see where she's sitting up nice and tall. When she goes into it, and her knees and her toes are forward, and she sits back and up as she comes to the landing, and especially, yep, right there, where she sits back and up, and her shoulder doesn't go excessively forward. And even through here, where her horse spooks, you can see her leaning a little bit, but she's still upright and still able to maintain her balance because of her core strength and her leg strength. And this is the ending jump. You can see that she's getting a little bit tired. But again, this is what it's supposed to look like towards the end, not necessarily my last jump on cross country there. And she's still able to sit up and sit back and get up off of her horse's back. So yeah, the way that I described it before is still the best way that I know how to describe it. I need like all of my stabilizing muscles on board. My core is super weak. My lower back is overly strong. I have little to no function of my posterior chain. And obviously, as you can see from my shoulders, like my trapezius muscles and whatever is at the bottom of the trapezius muscles that helps hold my shoulders back. My shoulders roll forward. Yeah. I plan on going back to CrossFit as soon as I land this job. But until then, I can't pay for a membership. So right now, what I have access to is a couple of squat bands and a couple of kettlebells. And I have hay bales. I have 125-pound hay bales that I can throw around to a certain extent until they get weak. But yeah.